So thank you, Jayjit. I guess in this panel, I'm possibly the only practicing politician. I'm not sure if my colleagues here from the Congress, they too are in the electoral fray. I'm using this word practicing very loosely. But I have been in politics since 2004. And I was for the first 6 years in what the army or the military would call, I was in a staff function. And 2010 onwards, I have been what they would call a line function. I was heading IT for the BJP from 2006 till 2009. And I was responsible for IT during the last Lok Sabha elections. And thereafter, I moved on. I went to Assam and I took charge as the state GS, the state general secretary. I fought the last state assembly elections and lost. And hopefully, God willing, I might kind of fight the next Lok Sabha. So it's been about 8 years now in politics. And several more years with tech, with technology. As Mr. Thakurta rightly said that BJP started using technology way back in 2004, and that was the time Mr. Pramod Mahajan was in charge, and we carried out the India Shining campaign. And, as they say that success has many fathers and failure none. The 2004 election, if you see, many people would take a very glib approach and say that, hey, your campaign didn't work and your use of technology did not work. I'd like to remind my audience one thing, that the 2004 elections or the subsequent elections and the elections prior to that, it was not the BJP fighting the elections, it was the NDA fighting the elections. It was the NDA versus the UPA, and it was a team performance. If we go back to 2004, there were only a difference of about 7 seats between the BJP and the Congress. But as a collective, there was a slightly wider gap between the NDA and the UPA. Obviously, our political calculations did not go as according to what we thought, else we would have come to power in 2004 itself. Historical trends indicated that every 5 years there is a change of power in Tamil Nadu. So 2004, we thought a similar change would take place in Tamil Nadu. It did not. Till 2004, the media was saying that Mr. Chandrababu Naidu is the CEO of Andhra Pradesh Incorporated. And nobody, including all the wise men in the media, thought that he would lose. 2004, Mr. Naidu lost very badly in Andhra Pradesh. So that led to the NDA loss. And 2004, nobody expected the left to do so well in Bengal. They had their best performance in all these years in 2004. So it was a series of political steps and missteps that led to the loss in 2004. And I think it's not correct to kind of ascribe any development to technology or any failure to technology. Because technology is a medium just like anything else. And every medium, whenever it makes its appearance, brings in some amount of discontinuity. I think radio shook up the political landscape when it made its appearance. Television did it likewise. And today, worldwide, the internet is doing it. So the people ask me one question that will use of technology lead to electoral success? And what is the point of using technology if you're not going to win? And I think these questions such as these come from a fundamental, I would say, a non-understanding of internet and technology. People think that the internet, SMS, video conferencing, they all are magic wands, and the moment you start using a website or internet, automatically your vote share would go up by X%. I think it's a very, very dangerous approach to take, because classically what is said in communication, that communication consists of two parts, the medium and the message. And for long, people have held that it is the medium that is the king. Sorry, it is the message that is the king and the medium is irrelevant. Now, if you take the same approach, if you take the same idea, same paradigm to technology, to internet, and say finally, what guarantees electoral success is the message and not the medium, I'm sure one would be far safer using technology. 2009 Lok Sabha elections, I think we used technology in a major way. And I think it's the media, the neutral media, that kind of pointed out that BJP was far ahead in the use of technology, not just in the election campaign, but also internally. We became possibly the first organization in the world, possibly because we don't have documented proof to the contrary, to have automated our entire organization using open source. BJP's routers are open source, BJP's SAN, storage area network is open source, BJP's Wi-Fi is open source, you name it, and we have used open source like nobody else in the world has. So that's the level to which we took technology. Today, within the BJP, about 9 state capitals are connected on video conferencing. And I'm not sure how many political parties in India are using technology to that extent. We have our own mailing system, we have our own hosting center, we have our own data center. And mind you, this entire thing is run with volunteer effort. We have a paid staff of 2. And they are very low-end hardware engineers, essentially for PC-level troubleshooting. So it's a volunteer-based effort that runs this entire IT infrastructure. So BJP doesn't use technology only for electoral gimmicks, and it is not about "Main Atal Bihari Vajpayee bol raha hoon." BJP uses technology in-house immensely. And if you look at the last election, 2009, along with our manifesto, we came up with a supplementary manifesto. We didn't use the word manifesto. We call it a vision document. We came up with an IT vision document. We didn't come up with the infrastructure vision document. We didn't come up with the agriculture vision document. We came up with an IT vision document. So apart from the manifesto, this was the only supplementary document we came up. And we made some revolutionary announcements. Unfortunately, didn't get the mandate to execute it, but going forward, should we get an opportunity, I'm sure we'll do it. What are the things we promised in that IT vision? Number 1, a bank account, an online bank account for every Indian. So we said that we would go in for direct transfers, welfare, instead of having indirect transfers to different welfare schemes. We'll go in for direct transfers, and every Indian will get whatever welfare fund he or she is supposed to get through his or her bank account. We said a laptop for 10,000 rupees because we are concerned about access. And while giving the laptop, we said that we will give the laptop contract to a company, to that company that manufactures the processor in India. So it could be an Intel, it could be AMD, it could be just about anybody. But the laptop the government of India is going to give out at 10,000 rupees is the price point we selected way back in 2009. The processor has to be manufactured in India. So this is a national level competency that we in India do not have. We design chips, but we do not have the capability to manufacture chips. So we said that. Third thing, we said that just like we have a National Highway Authority of India, and I'm sure all of you are aware that this entire highway program and the village level road network started during the NDA regime. We said we will have a National Digital Highway Authority of India, which will be responsible for creating the backbone, the national backbone, and putting in place the national backbone and running it. So today, the national backbone is run by Power Grid, Railtel. So we said that we would take the grid from these government companies, put it together under one National Digital Highway Authority of India. We talked about changing governance. And for that we said that if the central government is really going to be e-enabled, it is not going to happen under the Ministry of Information Technology. If it's going to happen, it has to be directly under the Prime Minister. So we said that we are going to take the Department of Administrative Reforms and we are going to take the Department of E-Governance, put it together and create a Department of Smart Governance and put it in the PMO. So this was BJP's commitment. So we talked about entire holistic change, and if you go to the BJP site, you'd still get that IT vision document. We talk about, just like you have the Election Commission. If I'm not mistaken, we also talked about something like a Citizenship Commission. And the Citizenship Commission would be in charge of a unified ID, and the kind of conflict that you are seeing today in this government, where the global media is talking of policy paralysis, of this fight between the UID and the NPR, the National Population Register. In our scheme of things, something like that wouldn't have happened. So as an organization, as a party, we talked about changing India through IT. And within our party, we said that if we are going to change India, using the power of IT, using the power that IT gives us, it's important that we start using IT in-house. And that's where we began our journey. Coming to my personal story as a practicing politician and currently as a grassroots politician, does IT make a difference? The answer is yes, it does make a difference. It is a very powerful medium of communication. It allows for personalization like nothing before. You cannot personalize radio, you cannot personalize television. So the degree of personalization IT allows and the degree of targeting IT allows, prior media did not allow. Extremely powerful. But the reality, as Mr. Thakurta pointed out, the reality between the borders, beyond the borders of Delhi, is very, very different. In my constituency, which is Guwahati, and Guwahati is the most developed city in the entire Northeast, even in a place like Guwahati, the extent of net penetration currently is extremely poor. The infrastructure, the net infrastructure, internet infrastructure, currently is immensely poor. So I think, can IT make a difference? Of course, IT can make a huge difference both to the political process as well as to the governance process. But I think we are far, far away from being a South Korea or a Hong Kong or a Singapore, as Mr. Thakurta said. And I think it's got something to do with political will. I'm fairly confident that had we had that opportunity, which the Congress currently had, I think the numbers that you are currently seeing of internet users, of internet penetration, and the quality of internet connectivity you get would have been very, very different. So this is what I wanted to make as a part of my initial comments. Thank you.